Hey, what's up, y'all? Thank you for staying with me. Welcome back to part two of this segment right now. And we're just going to get into it because we're going to have a lot of ground to cover. So, right now, he's going to go back. He's going to bring me on and he's going to go right back to the HBCUs. Now, me, like I said, I could admit when I'm not really wrong. This is like the first time I heard of Biden cutting funding for HBCUs, which did not happen, right? He didn't educate himself to study what the policy was and how it happened. So I say, hey, look, if he did that, he would be wrong, right? I'm just going based upon the merit of what he's saying, which obviously was not true at all. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to play what he said and then, him introducing me and everything and things like that. And I'm going to correct the record.
Something going on with your phone because you got about 3 different versions of yourself in here. Go ahead. Black Critic, let's go. You in here? Going once, going twice.
Talking to me?
The Black Critic.
All right, okay, what's up? You hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah, something's, I don't know, it's a connection. I'm sorry, I apologize for the last time. My phone was dying. So I'm gonna pick up where I last heard you. You were just another brother about Joe Biden. Why did Joe Biden cut HBCUs? Now, before I say anything, I'm gonna say this. That's inexcusable. That's disgusting. And there's no excuse for that. I don't care what political party you are or anything like that. As a black man, as a black person in America, that is excusable. That's inexcusable. You should not be making any excuses. We should be raising hell right now. So with that being said, knowing that I'm not politically affiliated and not politically biased, what you're saying about Donald Trump giving HBCUs money, that's a misnomer. That's a Republican talking point. When on one of your shows in the past, you said that, I was like, oh wow, I didn't know that.
Donald Trump extended Obama's funding.
No, stop. Let me talk.
Wait, because you're talking about me now and you're lying on me. That's the problem where you're going to get cut off. Donald Trump extended the funding for HBCUs that Obama gave them. And he extended it for a longer time than Obama gave it to him. Nobody ever said anything about Donald Trump just made up a bill and he was going to help the HBCUs. So when you talk about misnomers and talk about I'm lying, how am I lying? Donald Trump extended the funding for the HBCUs, just like Obama extended George Bush's tax cuts for the wealthy, 1%. So explain to me how I was lying and I was talking a talking point and all
that. I'll let you finish because every time I talk, I get 2 sentences and you cut me off.
No, I just need you to stop lying and then you can talk.
You're taking it personal. I'm saying what you said, nothing against you. I said what you said and the information
I never said that. That's why. Just say your point.
Okay, fine. Okay, you didn't say it. So what I heard is, and what the narrative I'm hearing from other people is that Donald Trump got a bill like, hey, look, black people need funding for black colleges. Donald Trump was like, oh, wow, that sounds great. Let me sign it. Oh, I'm an advocate for that. That is wrong. What happened was that it was something that Obama already put in place that Congress was already going to pass. But since the administrative has changed, Trump, okay, now you're the president. This is something that the last administration does. This is what Republicans do. They'll say certain provisions and things that was already set by the last administration, if it's good, they take credit for it. If it's bad, then they point the other finger. So what Donald Trump did, which is good, which I commend him for, he signed it, which he did. So that's where the misnomer is saying like, oh yeah, he was gun ho. No, he wasn't. He signed it, which is good, which is commendable, right? Joe
You're
Biden
wrong.
cutting it is
You're wrong.
inexcusable.
You're wrong. You're
Okay,
100% wrong.
I did PolitiFact. If PolitiFact is wrong, okay.
Yeah. PolitiFact is wrong, and PolitiFact is already left wing, bro.
Yeah, so we're going to go straight to the source right here. You have whitehouse.gov, right? So right here, fact sheet. The Biden-Harris administration's historic investments and support of historically black colleges and universities. So everything that Brandon's going to say is about how Biden himself took it upon himself to cut HBCU funding is totally false. He does not know the process, because if he told you how the sausage is made, right, then what he really saying initially about parties being bad and hey, look, we have to choose based on our best interests, we wouldn't be siding with Republicans. We wouldn't be such a kiss ass and wearing a cape for Republicans all the time because they vote against these things that are for black people, right? So anyway, we're gonna get right into it, right? This is just mostly like introductory. I'm gonna try to keep this short, so I'm just gonna get right to the heart of the situation, right? So right here it says historic investment in historically black colleges and universities, right? So these are different bills, different things that was done for black colleges. It just wasn't what Obama signed over and then Trump signed over, right? These things are the continue is what was going on under Biden, right? So America's Rescue Plan, that's a Biden initiative. The American Rescue Plan and other pandemic relief funds provided nearly 3.7 billion in relief funding to HBCUs. This is in addition to approximately 1.6 billion in debt relief to 45 HBCUs, 13 public institutions, and 32 private institutions earlier this year. Earlier this year. This is an addition, right? FY21 grant funding. These are there as you all know, there's different funding and there's different ways how you can get money, right? If you want to go to school, you got grants, you got financial aid, you got all these other institutions and government things that you could get in order to go to college, right? So this is just grant funding, and in FY21 the Department of Education awarded a total of $1 billion to build the capacity for institutions that serve large numbers of students of color. So you know it's going to be brown people too, and low-income students. $500 million for this funding went directly to HBCUs. Right? FY22 budget request. The president's FY22 budget request a total of 1.6 billion for HBCU specific funding in higher education, right? HEA, right? An increase of 239 million over last year's level, right? So Brandon want to be sucking Trump's dick over all these things he's been doing, but obviously it seems like Biden has increased it over 239 million. The budget will triple the mandatory Title III funding and Department of Education for a total of 252 million. The Title III mandatory funds provide formula grants to all HBCUs to invest in capacity building initiatives and student success programs. The president's budget requests include funding for research opportunities at HBCUs, labs, IT infrastructure. We need labs because we got Negroes out here that don't believe in science right now. It's like we're like the stupid, idiotic Europeans during the Middle Ages. Anything new that's presented as science-based, we all fight against it, right? So IT infrastructure, workforce development programs in STEM, and DOJ funding for Violence Against Women Act programs at HBCUs, among other priorities. Right, so it's like a little criminal um thing in there too, in there too, to help protect women there too. Right, so a little Department of Justice type thing. Teacher quality funding. I'm not going to get into that, but once again, it's towards HBCUs. Right, so it says on strengthening the White House initiative of HBCUs. In September, President Biden signed an executive order to reestablish the White House initiative on advancing education equality, excellence, and economic opportunity through HBCUs, and issued a proclamation recognizing National HBCU Week. So, it could be pandering or whatever, but he's putting where his money where his mouth is so far, right? The president's executive order calls for a whole government approach to approach HBCUs in responding to and recovering from the COVID-19 pandemic, and bolster HBCUs a number of ways, including breaking down barriers and improving access. Okay, so this is just basically saying that, he's still providing funding for HBCUs. See, right, the order there specifically directs senior officials. You can read it right there. In case, so I don't have to take up too much of your time. All right. You can always pause it, slow it down, and read it. I'm just going to go to the heart of the stuff right here. So it says ensuring continued support for HBCUs through the Build Back Better plan. This is obviously Biden's initiative. The president's Build Back Better plans would provide tuition subsidies to students who attend HBCUs with a family income below $125,000. It will also provide free community college to students who attend one of the 11 HBCUs that are also community colleges. That's great. Community college will be free. That's something that initially I wanted to vote for Bernie Sanders, because he was going to make all community college free. Like that, I think it was the first 2 years free. Right, so it's good that he at least do that. I mean, it's on 11 colleges, but whatever, it's a start. The Build Back Better also includes a $5 billion increase in funding for HEA Title III and Title V, which can be used in HBCUs, tribal colleges, and universities. Also talks about the STEM program. Again, here, for research, because a lot of research and a lot of discovery that's done is done through universities, but HBCU don't get as equal funding as white universities, obviously, right? The Build Back Better would direct an additional $2 billion towards building pipeline and skilled healthcare workers with graduate degrees from HBCUs, TCUs, and MSI. So Brandon is lying when he's saying, well, he's cutting it back, and Biden is not for. I think he even didn't know that, because HBCUs, Biden it cares about. I should have probably used that much word, but as far as this bill is concerned, he is making sure that, hey, look, once black people graduate college and stuff like that, they can take those same skills for the same degrees that they have, and they could start building and going to jobs right away, right? So he's working on jobs. He's doing job creation here, right? Recognizing the historic unfunding of HBCUs and other institutions that serve large numbers of students of color. The president's plan also would invest $40 billion in upgrading research infrastructure, half which would be reserved for HBCUs, TCUs, and MSIs. Right. So once again, this is part of his Build Back Better plan. So initially he did 40 billion, right? So it's the infighting in the Republican Party, but there's only two people, maybe three people that are pretty much Republican plants. Now, Republicans are totally against all this money being funded for HBCUs, right? So if you notice, he's just saying Biden don't do this, Biden's not doing that, Biden's not doing that. Kiss ass, what is Republicans doing? Is Republicans fighting saying, well, tisk Biden, why are you doing that with all these black people? Let's uphold Trump's initiative what he was initially doing. No, he's not saying that because his lying ass knows that the Republicans are voting against this. He really knows that the Republicans don't like this. They know that this is just Trump is just trying to get brownie points. They all know it's brownie points. It's not something that they're really fighting for or want, right? But here we have Biden, right, as flawed as he is, at least he's doing the right thing. So Brandon is completely wrong, pandering and kissing orange ass, Donald Trump's orange ass. That's all he's doing. So he's being completely dishonest with you guys. So I'm going to show you another article besides this one. We go into the source right now, right? Is because what Brandon's doing is a lot of, well, I said so, and I'm the black mascot mouthpiece for the Republican Party, that I'm going to tell what Democrats are doing or not doing. He doesn't come with no receipts at all. He doesn't come with any receipts. And when he comes with receipts sometimes it's actual is a little bit misleading, but when he's just going off the cuff, right? So no one doesn't know me from a can of paint. Nobody knows him from a can of Skittles. You know what I'm saying? So what we're going to do, we're going to go to the sources here, to the people that are involved here with Reuters. So fact check Biden's ambitious HBCU funding proposal challenge in Congress. In Congress. Once again, anyone that researches this, right, will know that Biden is not the end all be all of saying if HBCUs gonna get all this money. This is not a monarchy. He's used to Trump. He used to Trump saying something, right, bullying everybody to do it, not understanding what the democratic process is, and him saying, well, I'm the president, so make it happen. And it just happens, and all Republican kiss asses and forever Trumpers, they just go along with it because Führer Trump said it. You know what I'm saying? So that's where his mind's at. He's not thinking democratically. He's thinking he has Trump on his mind, right? So like it says here, challenged in Congress, right? So I'm going to go straight to it, right? You read that already. Hopefully if you did. If you didn't, you can always go back. I'm going to go straight to it. So it says how everything, like posted on social media, a lot of people, there's a lot of misleading things going on social media, right? Brandon's probably one of those people reading these things going on social media, right? That's with all these things are not fact. It says one post reads, Biden done cut HBCU funding by almost $40 billion down to $2 billion. You know what I'm saying? So they got all these posts here. Thing I love about this site, then they just come up, they come up with little receipts here and there and stuff like that. All right. So this is the examples. Another says, so y'all ain't gonna say nothing about Biden administration cutting HBCU funding. So again, there's a lot of information on that. It's on Facebook, right? The claims on social media have prompted some HBCU leaders to address the misinformation. So these are people that are ahead of HBCUs, right? These are the people that are ahead of HBCUs, such as Dillon University President Walter Kimbrough shared a Twitter thread on October 5th, 2021 on the notion that HBCU funding was slashed by $30 billion here, saying it's a lie. So you can see that right there, right? He's ahead of it. You could check him out, right? It says in his thread talks about what is given to HBCUs from federal government through grants and development contracts, and how billions of funding were directed to HBCUs during the pandemic with the CARES Act. Like I said it before, there's different tiers and different things that was given to HBCUs besides the Biden's Build Back Better plan that included HBCUs. Other things were funded to HBCUs besides Biden's Build Back Better plan, which also includes HBCUs funding them and giving them money for infrastructure, right? Right? This is what he's saying. right? Remember, the Republicans were against child tax credit. They were against giving people, on pandemic relief money, all except for when it concerned the when Republicans, well, not even just Republicans, when the Republicans, because it was a bipartisan agreement that they're going to give all these other businesses money, and they had no problem with that. But as always, when it comes down for the people like you and me to get it, it's a problem. All right, it says about the cuts. He said Biden Harris pledged $70 billion to HBCUs and other MSIs. See campaign promise here, whatever. There has never been a proposal that anxious. But that, since partisan politics is now involved, Biden's ambitious agenda is being scaled back. So the HBCU funding proposal, along with lots of others, have been revised. Right? So again, he's proposing, hey, look, this is what I want. It has to go through the Senate, it has to go through the House, Congress has to pass. All that has to happen, right? And when it comes back, it's usually never the same thing that when you send a bill away to be approved. Anyone that knows politics 101 knows this. Brandon knows this. He's not stupid. He's just a Republican puppet, right? He's just a living minstrel show right now, right? He knows this, but he's caping for Republicans, saying that he's only going for the best party that has our best interests when you're cooning caping for Republicans. This happens all the time, both up and down, right? That's what it says, what I just said. More than a revision lowering the spending proposal here. Let's see what this is saying. I am so sorry for the advertisement. Let's get stupid TikTok.
Did you know that people can steal your entire
Oh my gosh,
house?
I'm so
right
sorry,
underneath
guys.
ya?
This is happening.
I am so
with
sorry.
People's houses here.
You bought the house, you closed escrow, it's yours. And
President Biden's $3.5 trillion reconciliation bill has been under attack from the jump. But lately, Biden's Build Back Better agenda is getting friendly fire from members of his own party. Case in point, Congresswoman Alma Adams of North Carolina has made it abundantly clear she plans to vote against Biden's $3.5 trillion plan because her colleagues in Congress will not fully fund historically black colleges and universities. Here's how it went down. President Biden proposed $55 billion in funding for HBCUs during the big reveal of the American Jobs Plan. Well, the full budget request then goes to Congress to reconcile the request with Congress's choices. Now, Congress, which is in control of the Democrats, decides to only allocate a total of $30.5 billion. Well, when Congressman Sam Adams and Senator Raphael Warnock saw that nearly $30 billion for HBCUs had just disappeared, they wrote to their colleagues on the education committees asking for a compromise number, essentially saying, okay, fine, just give back $15 billion of what you promised and we're good. Well, no deal. To discuss how Congress decided to compromise on the backs of HBCUs, joining us now is the Senior Vice President of the United Negro College Fund, Rodriguez Murray, and President of Clark Atlanta University, Dr. George French Jr. Welcome, gentlemen. Thank you for joining us. Let's start with you.
Well, I'm not going to get into that because that's pretty much an opinion piece. They're pretty not going to push back on it. You see it, you can see it further. I don't want to prolong this any longer than it has to be. So basically, you have people in Congress saying, hey, look, they're firing some people in Congress on the Democratic side. It's like, hey, look, okay, we'll take it. And some people's like, nah, like this lady right here. Biden said he was going to give us this. Let's approve the amount that Biden want to allocate it for HBCUs, right? And she has every right. So you could blame the Biden administration, right, and the people that are against it, but you can't solely blame Biden when he did his job as from the administrative level. He's going through the chain of command of trying to how to get this bill passed, right? So it's saying, okay, right there. in an October 2000, October 8th, 2021 article, Louisiana Monroe News Star here. On Grambling State University, President Rick Gallick said there is a misconception that the proposal will lead to a decrease in HBCU funding, when in fact the bill will lead to additional funding regardless of the outcome. Representatives for the White House told Reuters by phone that the president has not cut funding for HBCUs. According to the representative, the president is committed to supporting and helping HBCUs. Let's check what he's saying here. So he's going right back there to the Build Back Better framework that we covered already, right? So everything is coinciding here, as you can see. The Biden administration also shared the fact that highlighted the HBCU funding for FY22. We discussed that, right? Representatives from the Thurgood Marshall College Fund view the Build Back Better proposal as a new $2 billion fund for HBCUs in minority-serving institutions, right? Research and infrastructure is what we need. The organization recognized the suggested funding as a brand new pot of money that has not previously existed. All this is going under Biden, right? So either Trump, there's nothing saying that he's saying how Trump did, like Trump extended. That's also another lie. I'm going to reiterate that too. He's saying Trump extended it longer than Obama. Trump is extended it indefinitely. Obama only did it where you have to come. It's not every year. You have to always go for HBCUs. Well, they have to come back every time when the bill. So the bill is allocated for the next 3 years. You guys get this. He's saying, well, Trump says, well, no, you don't come back in 3 years. I did it indefinitely. There's no way he made that up. There's nowhere. I challenge him or anybody to show proof of that, and he's not going to show proof of that. He's just going to talk about it, right? So that's what Republicans do. They lie. They lie their ass off when they know they can't depend on the truth. So there you have it right there. As this article publicated, final 2022 funding allocated to HBCUs. Right here, the country is waiting for details of Biden's proposal budget currently being reconciled by Congress. So there you have it there, right? It's a lot of fact checking. So right here, you have people that are on the ground doing it, right? Showed you these sources. These are actual people that are actually involved. Brandon's not involved in none of this. I'm not involved in any of this. So here are the facts of the matter, and we're going to continue and to debunk more of his lies.
Bro, listen, look at what really happened, bro. Let's talk about the truth. Donald Trump.
I saw several articles, but go ahead, show your source.
Okay, the reality is this, right? Donald Trump, if you see this picture right here in my backdrop, the HBCUs went to Donald Trump, asking could they extend funding. The way Obama had it set up was every year the HBCUs would have to go to Washington and ask for funding, right? Donald Trump said, why do you guys keep having to come back here every single year to ask for funding? And Donald Trump extended funding for years. Obama funded the HBCUs, but he did not fund them indefinitely. He just funded them for that year. And then they came back every year and he gave them money. But Trump was like, I don't want to see you guys in my office anymore. And he extended their funding for into the future, like I think 10 years, right? No president had did that.
If that's the truth,
Yeah, so you can see here he's made a whole bunch of lies, right? And exaggerations and a lot of confusing things, right? So he's going to say, excuse me, that, remember, he's going to lie. First of all, he lied and said that that Trump extended it indefinitely forever, right? Because he says people should come every year. Not true. Then he said that Trump extended it for 10 years, right? So, like, which is it? either he extended it forever or he extended it for 10 years. This is what happens when you go off the cuff and you don't know what the hell you're talking about, right? He absolutely doesn't know what he's talking about. And that didn't happen at all. He's just straight up dog-faced lying right now. Unless you could show me an article where Trump did it indefinitely or 10 years, he doesn't even know. I would like for someone to show me that, right? He doesn't even know if he's coming or going. And this is very sad. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know if he really believes this nonsense. He won't show his sources. Now remember, he said, look at my backdrop here, right? You're gonna see where he never clicked on the link. He's doing stupid, idiotic things like most people think, oh, I got the news. I read the headline, right? He just read the whatever YouTube link that was or whatever. I don't know what it was, an official news site. I don't know what the hell it was. And he didn't even click on it. He didn't click on it at all. He just said, look at my backdrop here. Look what it says here. It wasn't like a news article, like how I would have news articles and I would read the actual news article. At least if you don't agree with my news article, you could disagree with it wholeheartedly for whatever reason. But this is not even a news article. This is a video that he didn't even click on. And he's explaining it, right? He's not clicking it and then explaining it. He's just explaining it, right? That's how you know he's full of shit. He's just full of lies. Like that's why I asked, like, yo, where you get your news sources from? Where you get all this information? He doesn't have any receipts. He never shows and proves. He just say a lot of confusing things that makes no sense. He sits there, he lies, right? Because he knows not a lot of people is politically knowledgeable, and people who are politically knowledgeable like me and Brother Taharga that's trying to tell him something, he doesn't want to hear it. Because he's like, either, and I say it's a mixture of both, but more than he knows what we're going to say, he knows where we're coming from, and is going to put him in a spot where he can't really defend himself, so he cuts us off. Now, see, the whole time, I let him talk, I don't say anything, I don't get irate, I don't get anything. He's with the name calling and all this other stuff, and he cuts me off, I let him rock. But we're going to keep on letting him rock, and we're going to see how more lies he's going to say, which I'm just going to pretty much debunk again, because he's going to keep saying lie after lie. And I don't even, challenge him on every lie, because then I'm trying to address the first 2-3 lies he just told.
I commend
That's not, you do your facts. It's true. Go ahead and research it. It's 100% facts. Donald Trump, one thing that's good about him, he was a braggart. He bragged about every damn thing he did.
Like,
he couldn't wait to get up there and shit on Obama by saying, look at me. I have funded the HBCUs when Obama was making them come back every single year to beg for money. Trump stood on stage and said that. But
okay, so what about, remember the time when all the Republicans, especially the black sad Republicans, got excited when Trump said, well, you know what? Which was truth. He was like, Black Americans built this country. Remember when Trump said that?
I don't remember him saying that. I don't remember saying that.
One of his speeches, one of his rallies, it's pandering, obviously.
And what is
like Black Americans built this country.
But that's nothing to do with what we're talking about.
I'm sorry?
But that has nothing to do with this situation we're talking about.
It's not. It's like, see, like you get very defensive when there's any animosity against the Republican Party. I'm not biased. I hold all parties accountable. The moment I say something negative about the Republican Party, you get on defensive. It's like you're the same thing you're saying about how black people are Democrats and defending the Democratic Party. You're doing the same thing with the Republican Party. I'm on the outside looking in, and you play chess. Your mind, I like your mindset. You play chess. You're like, hey, look, and you said this before in the past. Let's look at which party has our interests, right? Doesn't matter who it is Republican. or Democrat, and I agree with that. So if we roll the dice, right, and we roll the dice on Trump, like, hey, look, wow, we got something out of Trump. We didn't get anything out of Biden. You know what I'm saying? Then yeah, that was a good thing. As racist as Trump is, as racist as the Democratic Party is, these are card-carrying racists that they just don't care. No one in the Republican Party is are card-carrying KKK members. They're not alt-right. These are alt-right racist people. The Democrats, on the other hand, they're weak as fuck.
Okay, wait a minute, because we could ramble about this all day. We're gonna watch a video that just tells you what happened. Trump's gonna say it out of his own mouth. Maybe if he says it, then you will stop talking in error. So let's look at it, guys. Let's watch it together. Let's watch it together. Damn.
My administration is deeply devoted to advancing this amazing legacy of success, commitment, and contribution to our nation. You have never stopped working to improve this country, and you deserve a government. You have to just keep going. You really do deserve a government that never stops working for you, and you never stop working for it. You're amazing people in this room, incredible people, and I congratulate you for it. After years of building up other countries, we are finally building up our country, standing up for our workers and fighting for our forgotten communities. The first and highest duty of government is to take care of its own citizens. African Americans built this nation through generations of blood, sweat, and tears. And you, like all of our citizens, are entitled to a government that puts your needs, your interests, and your families first. Previously, federal law restricted more than 40 faith-based HBCUs and seminaries from fully accessing federal support for capital improvement projects. This meant that your faith-based institutions, which have made such extraordinary contributions to America, were unfairly punished for their religious beliefs. Did we know that? Did everybody know that? Because that was not good. This week, our Department of Justice has published an opinion that...
Wait, they didn't even know. That's how dumb black people are for Democrats. We didn't even know that they had all these hidden rules and stuff that prevented us from getting money from the government for infrastructure and all that for our HBCUs, right? But we didn't even know. So not only did Trump say, I'm going to give you some more money, I'm also going to lift some bans on some stuff that y'all didn't even know about. Trump acknowledged your contribution to the country. That's what we say we want, right? We want a white man to stand on stage and acknowledge what we did. He said blood, sweat, and tears. He gave you everything you wanted. Then he gave you some money. Y'all turned around and voted for a dude who didn't give you shit. You guys couldn't have done it without you. Go ahead, slugger, and went on to go give your money to illegal immigrants. Right? But we defending that.
Declaring such discriminatory restrictions as unconstitutional. It's a big step. And from now on, faith-based HBCUs will enjoy equal access to federal support.
Okay, we got one more. Bear with me on this one. We got one more. I know that's hurting y'all ears right now. We know y'all already.
16 minutes after 9. Thanks for being with us online.
We know y'all already in y'all mind trying to justify the Democrats.
Yeah. Showing evidence.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Right, I'm showing evidence.
Very important, and very important to me and the administration. I want to again reiterate such a commitment to what we're doing in so many different aspects, and especially the incredible job that Betsy is doing. And I think you're seeing the fruits of that labor, and you will see it over the years, definitely. I want to begin by expressing our tremendous gratitude to Jonathan Holyfield.
It is very low.
White House initiative and historically black colleges.
Yeah, that's the volume on the video. But hold on real quick. Let me show y'all something. Look how mad them black people standing behind Donald Trump is looking. They want the Democrats to do that. That's why black people hate Trump, because they want the Democrats to do it. This is the one where Trump announced the money and all that stuff. I'm going to try to find a better one. But they want the Democrats to do that. So we're angry. That lady looking all twisted up in her face and stuff because she wanted from Massa Democrat. She don't want it from Trump. Look, me, I'm a field Negro. I don't give a damn who's passing out the butter biscuits as long as I get some. That's our problem. We only want this from the Democrats. Even Roland Martin's big roly-poly butt was hating. How you hating on somebody giving you something? How you mad because somebody's giving you something?
You see right here what he's doing. Notice. He didn't know about Trump saying that, blacks built America. Okay, fine. He missed that. Right? But then you can see this time where he actually clicked on the video. He just didn't talk through it. Because even though the video had nothing to do with what he was saying as far as Trump funding HBCUs indefinitely, it did not say anything like that. So the purpose of him playing that video served no purpose or try to prove whatever point he was trying to prove. But even though he clicked the video this time, he just didn't talk through it. So basically, he embarrassed himself again. So right there, you can see where in that same video, like it said, Trump said, hey, look, you build this country or whatever, right? So I don't know if he clicked it and didn't know it said that and just said what I put him onto, or he saw it already and he didn't pay any attention to it. So that's very interesting for him to take this position, right, and play that video like it co-signed what he said when it really didn't at all. It's just him saying all these broad general terms like Trump normally do. Trump is not really specific. He'll say all these broad general terms, right? So another thing that he says, right, when he stopped the video and he says, "Oh yeah, all these things was happening for black colleges, and this you weren't getting this rule, and that was a bad rule, and all this other stuff." What rule is he talking about, right? But Brandon is such a kiss ass for Trump, and we all over Trump's nuts, all hugging him and everything like that. That he's not even questioning what rule are you talking about. Again, Trump talks in broad terms. So he's getting all excited because Trump said, oh, there was something bad there for you African Americans there. So, that was very bad. That wasn't nice. And Brandon gets all happy. Goes happy and loses it. What rule was broken, or what wasn't given to us? Right? That now Trump says, okay, we can have now. Again, not specifying what it is, right? And then Brandon's gonna lie again and said that Trump gave us money. So when you see he said Trump gave us money, like Trump didn't give us more money that was not allocated, that was already there. Trump didn't say, oh, Obama wanted to give you this much money. Oh, that's not enough. I'll give you more money. That's not what happened. But he said, but Trump gave you more money, but you guys want to sit here and just vote on Democrat. You want to sit here and vote Democrat. Trump never gave us any more money that was already allocated from Obama. Right? And the whole thing, if Trump did Brandon's not even sure what Trump did, if he gave us money indefinite or if he gave us money for 10 years, as you can see, because he's confused. Because what he's doing right now, he's just nigga-splaining, right? He's just the Negro buffer. He's the Negro whisperer for black people right now. Like most of the black people in the beginning of the Trump administration say, hey, look, let's give him a chance. And then soon after, they jump ship because they see where he was going. But he's still being the stupid Negro whisperer. Even pimp preachers and Steve Harvey and even crazy delusional Kanye West was like, nah, I can't deal with this dude no more. But he's such a loyal house Negro that he's gonna sit here and lie to the rest of the black people saying he has the best interest of black people, right? So if Trump extended all these things indefinitely, right, under when he signed the bill for HBCU, so they don't have to come back in 10 years. Why is this why is this still a discussion? Why are you getting mad? He's not mentioning that, right? And if that's the case, why isn't all his, since Republicans love us so much, right? Trump and the administration, they love us so much, right? Why is there no finger waving on the Republican side saying, "Oh, Biden, that's very bad. You need to hold hold what Trump did and what he did. He fought for black people. You need to pass that bill, right? That Trump fought for and stuff like that." Republicans ain't stressing that. They're not stressing that at all, right? It's just and if in fact the Republicans are the one that's fighting against the bill. Republicans are the ones that's fighting against the bill, right? I forgot to include that where you have Mitch McConnell saying this is disastrous. I'm going to try to fit that in, saying that all this spending is going to raise inflation and all these other things. The Republicans are against this, but you still got Negroes that either they're just stupid, dumb, or they just like in Brandon's in case he says, "Oh, black people are stuck on Democrats and they can't move off of the Democratic plantation." That is very true. But you got some Republicans also. They can't get out of Master's big house. They like being next to Master in the big house, looking down at other people that's in the field. He's not no goddamn field Negro. A field Negro would be against any form of oppression. The field Negro would be for any progress for his people. Field Negro is not going to lie to his own people on behalf of white people. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what the hell he's talking about right now, right? So the whole thing is saying like it's just a trip. It's just a trip. Now he's saying in that whole video he said, "Oh, they're mad because Democrats supposed to be doing that." When Trump was sitting there saying, "Hey, look, he's going to do this, he's going to do that for HBCUs." Once again, he's praying like, "Oh, the black people are mad. Their faces all twisted up. They're there. They're there. No one forced them to be there. He's doing something there for them. Do they gotta be skinning and grinning and shucking and jiving like you and Kanye and all these other sellouts? No, they don't got. Okay, you're gonna do something. Do it. You can't say that, "Hey, I don't care. I'll take butter biscuits no matter who's giving them out. No matter who's giving the butter biscuits. I'm a hoe for politics." Okay, you could be a hoe for politics, but don't be a kiss ass. Have some dignity. Have some respect for yourself as a so-called black person. They don't have to be all being happy and skinning and grinning. You're gonna do it. Do it. That's your job. You don't have to be my friend. You don't have to be my friend. And then he say, "Oh, that's why black people hate Trump." No, black people hate Trump because he has a record. Me being from New York, we know who Trump is and what Trump is about. He's from California. He has no daily run-ins on the local newspaper of what Trump is doing and things like that. You know what I'm saying? Trump has been his father's been a racist, right? And he picked up the same ideology. His father used to not rent to black people, right? Trump was also you got the whole Central Park 5 situation going on, right? How there's like countless things that I don't want to waste no more time why Trump is being racist. The whole thing where he said that, about the about Confederate monuments being torn down, and he's against these monuments being torn down. He didn't care if it offended black people or it made black people feel uncomfortable. He didn't. He didn't care if it made black people feel uncomfortable. All he cared about was his base. His base are the Boogaloo Boys, Fox News, alt-right, QAnon, all these people. That's who he cares about. That's why he's saying there's good people on both sides. That's where he tried to call even, basically saying that all these people that went to Charlottesville that was killing and hurting anyone who was against pro-slavery and pro-Confederacy, he's saying these are good people. Like, Negro, please, man. Like, come on now. Like, we have to get rid of. We have to tell the truth and expose people like this. This is crazy. Like I said, the brother he's good when it comes to everything else, but his politics is horrible. It's atrocious. Just like Brother Taharka said, there's something very seriously wrong with him.
Can I interject?
Go ahead.
You're absolutely 100% right. And I'm saying this as a person who has no allegiance. Seems like some of y'all got allegiances in here. So you beat up a Democrat, you beat up a Republican, I don't give a damn. If they're in the wrong, they're in the wrong. To answer your question why they're all upset, you're right. They're upset that damn. We here cheering Democrat and saying how moral Democrats are, and Democrats are on our side. And here you have a card-carrying racist over here. He's saying, hey, look, I'm going to step up to the plate and do something for you guys and make you look bad. He's playing politics. Donald Trump don't give a fuck about black people, but if it gets some political points, hold on. If it gets some political points, he's going to do it. That's how you play politics. Democrats don't really care that much about black people, especially if they
don't care about black people at all. Now, don't say they don't care about black people
no
that much.
Party cares
Republicans
about us,
B. Wait a minute. Here's the thing. When you point out what Republicans do, oh, well, they're playing politics. When you point out what Democrats don't do, well, they don't care about us as much. Like, bro, none of them do. Republicans, Democrats. I'm going to play this video so you guys can be able to talk.
I'm sorry, I didn't hear the last part.
President Trump has signed a bipartisan bill that permanently funds HBCUs. The bill provides more than $250 million to these universities and others that serve minority students. This bill, most known for simplifying the FAFSA that determines financial. Also breaking, President Trump has signed a bipartisan bill that permanently funds HBCUs. The bill provides more than $250 million to these universities and others that serve minority students. This bill, most known for simplifying the FAFSA that determines financial aid for these students.
We're going to play it again because I know some of us slow. So we're going to play it and we're going to slow it down so we can all grasp it. This was actually $250 million per year. That's what it is, $250 million per year, just so you can't say, well, what's $250 million going to do? It was per year. Go do your research. Let me slow this down so the ones in the back can understand it. So Trump funded them permanently, meaning they will always have money. Obama didn't do that. Obama was like, we will allocate funds to them, but they would have to come request those funds. So under Obama was like, we're going to give y'all some money, but y'all got to come request. So every year, the deans and all that from the HBCUs will have to go to Washington and beg for money, right? That was Obama's idea of funding HBCUs. Trump was like, I don't want to see these niggas up in my office. So he was like, let's just give them some money so they can stay out of our face. I totally get it. But I will take permanent funding, right? Which the students agreed they needed it. They needed it. These HBCUs, man, go to Jackson State. Go to Lane College. It's terrible. It's deplorable. But look, so why did, just off of HBCUs alone, black people should have voted overwhelmingly for Trump, because at least under him, we were getting something. Now we getting nothing. We're getting nothing. Now I want you guys, everybody didn't talk. I want to go around. Oh, Black Critic, go ahead. I said I'll let you finish. Go ahead.
So you see, the moment I say something bad about Donald Trump, you see how he gets in his feelings, right? This is supposed to be a person that's black first. But the moment I say something bad about a white man, right, just saying he don't care about black people, knowing in the past, according to him, he says, yes, they're both racist. He has said that in the past, right? So why, if you're so pro-black, why would you get mad that I'm calling a man that's racist? You shouldn't get upset over that. But he's getting upset over that. And again, he's trying to cut me off, right? So the video that he played, right, he's like, again, no video that he has played has proved any of his points. He's like a well-wisher. He's just wishing, he's trying to hear things that's not there. They're saying things that doesn't prove anything in what he's saying. He's saying Trump alone did all these things with the with the HBCUs. He didn't listen. It says a bipartisan agreement. Trump signed a bipartisan agreement. It's either he's stupid and don't know what bipartisan means, or again, he's just cooning. Bipartisan means, for those that don't know, it basically means like it's a compound word. As you can see, bi means two. So it means two groups politically. The Democrats and the Republicans both came to an agreement, and they agreed to it, and they said, okay, Trump, we agreed to this. This is what it is. Do you approve of it? Trump says, looks good. Trump signed it. So the Democrats and the Republicans came to an agreement, and Trump signed it. He's saying Trump just did this, right? But he's trying at the same time, this video is supposed to prove to you that the Democrats were not on board at all. That's the whole point of the whole video, where it's just Trump and the Republicans doing everything, and the bad Democrats weren't doing anything at all, right? Partisan just means one-sided. So if we're going to do like Trump has been doing during his whole term, most of the times he tried to do a partisan agreement, especially if if the Democrats is not gonna like it, it's not popular, and especially the Democrats say, hey, look, we're not going for that, we don't like that, or if we're gonna do that, this is what we're gonna do. If they don't agree, then it'll just be a partisan agreement. It'll be one-sided. He had control of the House and the Senate, especially, so he can push it through because he has the numbers, right? So nothing that he's saying is proving his point with these videos at all, right? So he said, I'm going to slow it down so the slow people in the back can understand. I don't think he understood what it is. He didn't understand what it is. He slowed it down, and he still insisted on saying Trump did it, Trump did it, Trump did it. Like, this is just like, dude really needs to sit down and really study what politics is. He thinks he's a political guru. He's just a Republican. He's just a Republican mouthpiece. He's not thinking for himself.
Yeah. Once again, what you're saying is 100. I agree with you. But my question to you might be a two-part question. My question to you is, when you vote, you're a Trump supporter. So when initially you voted for Trump, why did you vote for Trump? I'm not trying to denigrate you or anything like that, because this is the only thing he has done specifically for black people. So you didn't foresee this. He didn't say he was doing shit for black people in the beginning. So I want to know, this is a victory. This is a victory that we have under Trump, but we had no crystal ball to know that he did this. So right now we're at the rooftop saying, oh, okay, yeah, this is good, but we did not know that. So my question to you is, why was the Republican nominee better than the Democratic nominee?
Okay, thank you, the King Bukani, for your donation. Guys, don't forget, like, share, subscribe, contribute to the stream. Okay, so first of all, I don't think you remember that the Democratic candidate was Hillary Clinton, the worst person in the world.
Yeah, agreed.
So that was one reason. Number two, Hillary Clinton wanted to throw people in jail if they did not buy health care. You don't remember that? But that's one of the reasons why she lost to Obama. She wanted to make the health care mandate something that was punishable by imprisonment.
You can see where that he's pretty much lying, saying that Hillary Clinton ran on, if you didn't have any health insurance, that would be penalty by imprisonment. This is another Republican talking point. This is the same thing with Obama, right? There's nowhere that you could find, I challenge anyone to find me, that Hillary Clinton was running on healthcare, because Obamacare was good, but it needs a lot of work, right? Someone show me where Hillary Clinton says that if you don't have any health insurance, you'll be in prison, right? That even happened with Obamacare. So if you run, common sense tells you that if you're going to be, why are you going to be running on something like that that's going to have imprisonment, right? At the end of it, and you campaigning on that, that's not going to be popular if you don't have health insurance. Knowing people are having issues with health insurance, and you're going to run on, if you don't have health insurance, I'm going to put you in jail. That's stupid. Plus, remember, he says that he was going to, you further see that said, well, during that presidential campaign for the Democratic nominee, he didn't want it Hillary, he wanted Bernie. At the end of the day, right, Bernie succeeded due to certain issues, which I regret, right? So he says, I'll endorse Hillary. So if you were against Hillary and Hillary's policies, right, why would you still be, oh, well, I like Bernie? Right? Like, there's nothing you can find. Where does he get his news from? Like, where does he get his news from saying that Hillary Clinton is going to run on that type of campaign for healthcare? That makes no sense. It sounds like another Republican talking point where they can't prove. It sounds like an opinion piece that they're saying that's the Democrats' policy. Like, where do you get your news from? Like, none of that makes any sense. No one could find anything like that. You know what I'm saying? Again, he wants us. He's dishonest in his political commentary, or his political commentary is just one-sided. It's not balanced. It's coming from far right wingers, right? I'll say like right wingers that's like are in the center. Hey, look, they could change, or maybe they're being dishonest. I won't say he's too far right wing, but he's somewhere in the middle, going towards like Newsmax and Alex Jones and some shit like that. Because the things he says is unfounded. That's totally dishonest. If someone's telling you something like that, but I'm going to show you an article of what it is in this present day of if you don't have health insurance, right? Even prisoners get health insurance. No one goes to jail for not having health insurance. That's like, you will have to rewrite the whole law of criminal justice of saying that you're going to go to jail for not having health insurance. How is that a crime? Like what?
And as a person who went a couple of years without buying health care, right? I didn't want to go to jail for not buying health care.
See right here, right, on healthcare.gov, it's a government site, right? The fee for not having health insurance. No health insurance, see if you'll owe a fee. So they're already telling you don't have health insurance, you're going to be owed a fee, right? You have to owe. It's a penalty, not by imprisonment, right? So it says for plan years through 2018, if you can afford health insurance but choose not to buy it, you may pay a fee. It's not indefinite. It says you may pay a fee called the individual share responsibility payment when you file your federal taxes. The fee is sometimes called the penalty, fine, or individual mandate. Starting with the 2019 plan year for which you'll file taxes by July 15, 2020, the share responsibility payment no longer applies, right? So basically what this is saying, right, that you have to have, yes, medical insurance, right? But we all know if you can't pay, if you're not paying out of pocket, or let's say you're unemployed and you don't have it, you can always get Medicare or Medicaid, which is free. Which is free. You don't even have to be a citizen to get Medicaid. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to be a citizen to get Medicaid. Medicaid is free. Once you're in this country for a certain amount of years, yada, yada, yada. I'm sorry, it's not years. For a certain amount of time, you could get Medicaid, especially if you're a citizen. So this is obviously towards citizens, right? So there's nothing saying that you'll go to prison or anything, even threatening prison. So, like I said again, and I was saying yeah to him and stuff like that, because again, I don't want to go back and forth with him. I just wanted to see what his opinion was. I wasn't saying yeah in agreement. I was saying yeah. Right? So false right there.
Now, also, you don't remember when Trump went in front of those black folks and was talking about what do you have to lose? Give me a vote. That wasn't the first time Trump did that when he was running against Biden. He also did that when he ran against Hillary. And he was like, black people, your neighborhoods are just destroyed. Your schools are terrible. He was just being real with us. And
Okay,
I
but he
said,
didn't say anything specific. It's also just talking points.
listen. But he acknowledged how bad we were doing under Democrats.
All candidates do that.
Oh, no, they don't. No, they don't.
What are you talking about? All candidates say they're going to do something, and when it's time to show and prove, they don't do it. Just like Joe Biden said, hey, we need to, Black Lives Matter, and we need to stop the criminal thing of black people getting shot. And He's not doing shit about that.
Okay,
he's doing Asian bills. He's doing Afghan bills. That's what he said. That's not what he's doing.
Calm down. Listen,
you see how he's saying, he's getting all excited, telling me to calm down, where he just lied to y'all and said that not all parties, when they campaign, they don't pander to their constituents. They all pander to their constituents because they need votes. That's just politics. So he knows he's lying, right? So he's want to bring up this weak ass point of Trump saying, "Oh, black people, look at this, look at that. Your infrastructure is bad. Your living environment is horrible." Yes, he knows living environment is some of our living environment is horrible because he lives in New York. I'm from New York, right? And because of his father, Fred Trump, was discriminating against the black people, so they couldn't live in his buildings, right? And we all know Trump, when it comes to Trump, the apple doesn't fall far from the tree. So he knows that. So him saying that, well, they don't pander is bullshit. And he knows that is bullshit. And when Trump said that, he said that when he was campaigning for his own presidency in the beginning, right? That was in Michigan with a crowd full of white people. It wasn't in Detroit. Right? He didn't go to Detroit like, hey, let me go to the hood and let me talk to these black people. He went to the rural, redneck, lily white mayonnaise section of Michigan and talking to them. So the token Negroes that was in the crowd, he was speaking to them. But yes, he was speaking on a national stage, so to speak, because, he was getting publicity and stuff like that. But he was trying to appease the black people. Why? Because he's campaigning. Right? He said it in front of a whole bunch of white people. He didn't say, you know what? If he really cared about black people, in my opinion, I would say he would have went to a predominantly black area. He would have did a rally in a predominantly black area and said he went to Harlem. If he went to Michigan, he would have went to Detroit, right? To Detroit, Michigan. He would have went to Atlanta. He would have went to somewhere where he want to get the vote and galvanize black people to do and say, hey, look, this is what I want to do for you guys. He didn't do none of that. He was just saying, hey, look, this is this is that. But I'm gonna show you the video of what Brandon is talking about, and it kind of has a little bit of racist connotations to it. That ended right here, right now. In the meantime, there's going to be a part 3 to this, and I'll give you my commentary on the whole Trump thing and what Trump was saying, how he was pandering to black people and full of a white audience. And part 3 should be the final chapter to this video. So thank you for listening. Like, share, and subscribe, and let me know what you think. If you have any information that could pretty much debunks what I'm saying, that's perfectly fine. I'm either teaching or I'm learning, and I'm fine with that. Peace. Remember to like, share, subscribe.